I wasn't just studying. I have a lot of hobbies, and I actually did a lot of things whilst I was at university. But overall, yes, law does demand a lot of your time, and you do have to be dedicated. But that's why I mentioned organization, because that is key. I was just able to organize my study time and then my personal life time and my hobbies and fun activities time, So I did quite a lot of stuff.
Hello and welcome to Faces of Ghana on YEN TV with me, Philip Abutiati. This is the show that inspires you. I always say that if you don't get inspired here, then there's nowhere else that you can get inspired. Well, today on the show, I'll be speaking to Amanda Nutakor. I don't want to introduce her, she'll introduce herself. We'll get to know about her story. But one thing you should know for sure is she has what we call beauty with brains. Before we speak to Amanda, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Leave your thoughts, your comments, and your suggestions in the comment section below. And if there is any story that you think is inspiring enough that we could share on the show, feel free to write to us. We'll follow up on the story. All right, Amanda, good to see you.
Hello, Philip. Nice to see you too.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm very well too. I also don't know you, just like my viewers, and would like to know a bit about you. When I first saw the story, I saw April as part of the name. I was wondering, what's your full name? Amanda April or what?
My full name is actually April Amanda Aliftina Nutakor.
Whoa.
Yes. So it's quite a lengthy name, but generally I'm known as April. So most people know me as April. Some people also know me as Amanda.
Well, was it because you were born in April?
Yes, I was born in April.
I see. So you graduated from the law school with a GPA of 3.84.
Yes.
And I think for some years now, nobody has been able to achieve that kind of GPA in the history of the University of Ghana Law School. How did you do it?
Well, that is a question that I have been asked so many times. And I would like to say that definitely has been a combination of a lot of hard work, discipline, and organization. Some people think that it's more about just being smart or intelligent. I'm not saying that's not important, but in my opinion, that's not enough. Like, you definitely have to put on much more work and organization to be able to get, a very high GPA or good grades in general, at least at the University of Ghana School of Law.
All right, so we'll talk a little more about the University of Ghana sooner or later. But let me find out, how has your academic journey been? Where did you go to kindergarten, for instance, junior high school, senior high school, before finding yourself at Lagos?
Yeah, so my academic journey began actually in Ukraine, in a part of Ukraine which is now Russia. It's Crimea. So maybe you've heard of it, and maybe some of the viewers have heard of it. It has been annexed by Russia. So that's where I was born, in a very small town, and I started school there. Everything was in Russian. So English is not actually my first language, it's Russian. I came to Ghana for primary school, class 4 and class 5 thereabouts, 2 years at Christ the King International School. At that time, I already knew English at some points because of my dad. He speaks English fluently. Of course, he's a Ghanaian. My mom is from Ukraine. So I could speak English, but it wasn't good enough. After 2 years, I went back to Ukraine, and then I came back to Ghana for senior high school. It was quite challenging, of course, because of the language primarily, and also, of course, the culture. Everything was very new to me. I went to a private senior high school at North Legon in Accra. It's called the Master's School. After that, I decided to apply for law at the University of Ghana, and I got in. So,
all right, we'll talk about your law journey sooner, but let's talk about your family a bit. I understand your mom is Ukrainian, your dad is Ghanaian. How are your siblings? Where are they? Are they in Ghana? Are they in Ukraine?
So my sister is here with me in Ghana. She is in her 3rd year at the University of Ghana School of Law. So sort of also, we are both in the legal educational sphere. And my 2 brothers, they are really young. We have 10 and 11 years difference. And for now, they're in Russia at the moment, yes.
I see. So now there is a notion that law is difficult, or let's say it's demanding. How was your life in law school like? It seems as though people who are reading law do not have a life, especially if you want to excel. Then you should always be with your book. No room for social life. Was that your story?
Not at all. For me personally, I wasn't just studying. I have a lot of hobbies, and I actually did a lot of things whilst I was at university. But overall, yes, law does demand a lot of your time, and you do have to be dedicated. But that's why I mentioned organization, because that is key. I was just able to organize my study time and then my personal life time and my hobbies and fun activities time, So I did quite a lot of stuff. I love traveling. So during my 4 years at university, I traveled basically across the whole of Ghana. I've been to the Volta region. Of course, my dad is from there. So I was there. I was in the northern region. I was in the western region, the central region, the eastern region. So I've been around Ghana. I also participated in the law school activities, the LSU, that's the Law Students Union activities. I was a committee head. So yeah, I did quite a variety of things whilst I was in school. And what helped me was organization.
So aside traveling and the extracurricular activities at the law school, do you have any other hobbies? Say music, sports, any other hobbies?
Well, I actually really like to dance. Not many people know that. I did belly dancing for a really long time in Ukraine. So when I came to Ghana, I wasn't really focused on that because there are not really any classes like that here that at least I know of. Yes, but I did perform a couple of times in school, at the law school, at some of our events. Yeah, so I do enjoy dancing, particularly choreography. So not freestyle anything. It should be a choreographed piece sort of thing. Yeah.
All right, now there are people who think the University of Ghana is all about fun, 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 fun. Of course, I do not agree with them because myself, I'm a product of the Premier University of Ghana. But what would you tell such people who think, oh, she had it on a silver platter? The University of Ghana is just fun. After all, the exams are not difficult.
Oh, my. That is not true. But of course, I can only speak for the School of Law. For the other courses, I really cannot say much. But for the School of Law, not at all, not at all. It's very tough. And, especially in our first year, we were all even confused of what was expected. It's like, it's your first time writing a law exam, and even the study of the law in the first place, what exactly are you supposed to do? Like, you're just dumped with cases, reading materials. What are you supposed to focus on? What exactly does the lecturer expect from you? All of these things. It's very challenging, not fun at all in that sense. So yeah.
I can also speak for the business school. It's not fun at all. It's University organized. It's not just fun, fun, fun. So it's a wrong notion. I want you to take it from your mind. But Amanda, let's talk about your religious life. Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? A traditionalist?
Yes, I was raised Catholic. Yes, but I don't really engage like in church activities if that's what you're inquiring. I wasn't in the choir or anything like that. Yes, but I was raised Catholic. Yes, yes.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now? And then I'm sure you would want to pursue the law profession further. Where do you want to see yourself? Do you want to rise out to become the Chief Justice? You want to have your own law firm? I mean, where do you see yourself?
Well, interestingly enough, I'm more interested in academia rather than, actually practice. And I'm not saying I will not practice. We'll see how things will go. But in terms of the law, I'm interested in teaching law. And at the same time, I would also like to be in the business sphere. I'm interested in marketing, and I would also like to start my own company. So in 20 years to come, I hope that would be, that would happen.
Okay, so I was having a conversation with some people today, and they were alluding to the fact that they are losing confidence in our legal system. They feel the legal system is very frustrating. The woman in question I was having a conversation with is a single mother who is on the verge of divorce, and her husband is not really aiding her. And then when she goes to the law court, she was telling me that, the structures there are just frustrating. The way the workers even talk to her, she's already depressed, and she left the law court and felt like committing suicide and more. What's your impression about the administration of the legal systems in Ghana?
I can't say that the legal system in Ghana does not have its challenges. I think every system, everywhere in the world, quite frankly, has its own challenges in terms of the administrative, procedures and the bureaucracy and all of those things. That is true. But I think at the end of the day, our courts do try and our lawyers do try their best to, achieve justice to their most highest, extent. I can't say that it always works, but definitely in many cases it does. It really does. And all of the cases that we read, even in school, prove that, at the end of the day, justice usually wins or prevails. Let me put it that way.
Now, what's your thoughts on there's this topical issue, feminism? Some people think women should be given equal rights as guys. Some people think women should actually, the standards should be lowered. I'm using this advisedly. Should be lowered for women. So, for instance, if the cutoff for guys is 7, for women we should make it 6. Do you think women can also fight just like men, and so there's no need for lowering of standards and all that, or you think women in some way need some sort of empowerment?
Okay, I really like your line of questioning. Um, in terms of feminism, I actually intend to start my own YouTube channel. The first video is coming out this Saturday, and that channel is going to be partially focused on feminism and human rights, specifically women's rights. So I actually have a lot to say about this topic. I think women and men, my own personal opinion, should be equal in certain specific areas. So employment, education, in the sense that we should all get equal opportunities. That's the baseline. But then yet again, because of history, women have been sort of marginalized, and of course, many of us, didn't get the opportunity to go to school or to go to work. So that is why I understand what you were talking about, the cutoff points, for example. I do understand it now. But I think, obviously there is a point in time where it should be equal. When we push more women into the system, it should be equalized. I don't believe that women are higher than men, or women, even if women are getting certain privileges over men right now, it should just be because of historical, issues that we have had in the past, but not because we are currently being so discriminated against or anything like that. I personally think that human rights should just be equal for all. As long as you're a human being, whether you're a man or a woman, at the end of the day, we still have our differences. A man is not a woman and a woman is not a man. Those are two different things. So, we shouldn't be saying that just because a man can take off his shirt, a woman should also be able to take off his shirt in public. At the end of the day, we are still different, biologically at least. So yes, but in terms of opportunities, they should be equal for both men and women.
But there's one issue that keeps coming up every year with regards to law. Mass failures rock the law school with regards to the entrance examination. I remember last year I was there to cover the demonstration that was organized by the law students to protest against this particular occurrence. And in fact, my colleague was hit by a bullet, and it was quite a controversial one during that demonstration. I want to pick your thoughts on that particular subject, the mass failure that rocks the law school all the time. What do you think about it?
Yes, it is quite unfortunate that we have to deal with this sort of issue. I don't have a particular stance. My classmates did. Some of my closest friends, in fact, even participated in this demonstration, and it was very disheartening, to a lot of us, including myself, to sort of, just to share the sentiments, or even some of the people who have failed. Some of my closest friends, who are my seniors, they did not get into the School of Law, even though they are highly intelligent and, in my opinion, qualified to get in. But it is what it is, and I think we should definitely stand our ground. We should fight for what we believe in, but at the same time, considering how the situation is like right now, we should also study our hardest, do our best, and of course also look unto God, for us to be able to excel and to be able to get into the Ghana School of Law. That's what I can do.
So if you had to make a call to the authorities, those in charge, those who sit on the board, who organize that examination and who take people into the law school, what would you tell them? What would you want them to do for you specifically? What would you want them to do so that the situation doesn't keep occurring?
Well, I would just like to say that a bit of transparency would be appreciated, especially in terms of marking, what exactly is expected of us. That is what I would like. So, of course, not everybody can pass an exam. You have to somehow eliminate some people from the whole process. But just the way everything is conducted, makes me personally feel a bit uncomfortable about the whole process. So yes, I personally, and I think I can also speak on behalf of some of my friends who are also law students, that transparency is what we would like, and accountability as well, in terms of our grades, so the marks that we get, in terms of the marking scheme.
Okay, I want to ask you a controversial question. During your stay in law school, what is one thing that keeps resonating with you? One thing that happened, maybe one occurrence that you can never forget, that you always remember and you will always remember?
One occurrence. Well, that's quite, something I'll have to think about. But the first thing that comes to mind is it just shows how lost I was. I was searching for a particular material or a book, let me put it that way. And I was literally looking at one area of the library for more than 1.5 hours, just trying to find this particular material. And at the end of the day, I went and I decided to ask the librarian for help. And I was told that that book is not even in the library at all. So I wasted my time. I was frustrated, and it was also at the end of the day, so I could sit in the library for hours sometimes. It was almost, I think, 9 p.m. at that time. This just explains how sometimes it can be so challenging just to find a book. I went through all of this just to find a book. It was quite, disheartening. Wasted my time, wasted my energy. But yeah, so it happens. These kinds of situations happen.
All right, now I want you to look at the camera and then just give your last words to our viewers, people who are looking up to you, people who are inspired by your story, people who want to be like you. What are your final words? What would you tell them?
My final words is that you have to stay true to yourself. Of course, there will be competitors, there will be people who might want to even put you down or to discourage you, but always stay true to yourself, know what you want. And at the end of the day, if you do put in discipline, it's not always just about your intelligence. There are some people who work their hardest and they are able to make it. So if you put in hard work, discipline, and organization, you will surely make it. I am the evidence of that. So.
All right, so Amanda, I'm sure there are lots of people who admire you. Some would like to connect with you. Some would like to know you a bit more. Are you on social media, and what are your handles?
So at the moment, I'm on Instagram at Amanda Nutakor. And I'm also on YouTube, of course, as I'm starting my YouTube channel. The first video is coming out this Saturday, as I have already mentioned. April N on YouTube. So that's it.
Right, so the show has been Faces of Ghana on YEN TV. Of course, I am a regular host, Philip Abutiati. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave your thoughts, comments, and suggestions in the comment section below. If there is any inspiring story that you think you would like us to cover, just feel free to write to us. You can even leave it in the comment section and then we will follow up. Until I see you again on another edition of the show, remember to be peaceful as a Ghanaian, because peace is all we've got.